Alabama's WVUA News at 10 with your award-winning news team, Claire Huddleston. Weather with Richard Scott and sports with Gary Harris.
Good evening. I'm Matt McCoy in for Claire Huddleston. Thanks for being with us. Tonight's Taylorville Primary Parent-Teacher Organization meeting was different from any other. The faculty and staff had a surprise up their sleeve for this audience and a very special guest. WVUA's Bradley Whittington takes us there.
Wednesday's meeting started off like any other until the flash mob routine was planned by the faculty and staff at Taylorville Primary, and they've been practicing for weeks. The surprise was to honor and say happy 60th birthday to their principal, Dr. Steve Lehman, who's not been able to attend school due to chemotherapy and radiation from stage 4 throat cancer. Teachers say the flash mob idea came from Dr. Lehman himself years ago, but little did he know it would be to honor him.
Years ago, he came to me asking, did I know what a flash mob was all about? And I said no, and so I watched some on YouTube, and I went down to his office and I was laughing, and I said, okay, I've watched them, what do you want me to do with that? And he said, I think our faculty can do that.
Faculty and staff say the purpose for the event was to show Dr. Lehman how much they love and miss him.
I just love him. I mean, he's a wonderful person to be around, to work with, and we miss him very much.
I want him to know that we'll go to the ends of the world for him and do something crazy out of all of our, what we might really do in real life. We would just do it for him because he is such a great man, and that we love him and that we miss him, and we just can't wait for him to be back.
Although Dr. Lehman couldn't speak, the smile on his face made it clear that he was happy. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Bradley Whittington, WVUA News.
Taylorville Primary School is selling bracelets to show support for Dr. Lehman's fight with cancer for $1. It's like the one you see here on your screen. They're currently out but are ordering more. If you would like to purchase a bracelet, contact the Taylorville Primary School. Their number is 205-342-2939. In tonight's Home Team Crime Watch, Tuscaloosa Metro homicide investigators are on the case of a fatal shooting in Tuscaloosa County. Captain Lloyd Baker with the Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Unit says it happened before 8 o'clock this morning in the 3100 block of Foster's Ferry Road. Baker says deputies found a 54-year-old man dead at the scene. Residents told investigators the victim attacked his 2 roommates with a wrench, and the suspect shot him in self-defense. According to Captain Baker, due to the self-defense issue, the shooter was released and the case will be heard by a grand jury. Continuing in tonight's Crime Watch, according to Sergeant Andy Norris with the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Department, 3 people have been arrested in conjunction with a burglary that happened in September. According to Norris, Michael Johnson, Paige Kosha, who you see here, and Ruby Thrasher are being charged with burglary after Norris says an armed man and woman broke into a home demanding money, drugs, and jewelry. Johnson and Koshat are being held at the Tuscaloosa County Jail on a $75,000 bond. Northport City Council is planning to amend a set of laws that will regulate group homes for people who have developmental disabilities or mental illnesses. The City Council plans to discuss the proposed amendment that will change zoning rules to the already existing ordinances. The amendment will call for group homes to have business licenses and be at least 1 mile from another group home. If passed, the amendment will conflict with some federal laws, but Mayor Bobby Herndon says this is an important issue for Northport residents.
People say, well, I don't want to move into a neighborhood that has a group home, and it makes people's property values go down, makes it harder to sell the homes. But we just want to make sure that the city of Northport, the citizens of Northport, have a say-so as to where group homes are placed.
The issue will be put into a vote during the next City Council meeting on October 17th. Scores of public school employees are considering early retirement because of changes with the Alabama Public Employee Health Insurance Plan, or PHIP. WVUA's Travis Leader shows us why local students may see a different teacher in their classroom next semester.
We have 225 employees that are eligible to retire early or retire on time without receiving a penalty from PHIP.
The rise in retirement costs could force some teachers to retire in the middle of the school year. Verner Elementary School Principal Beth Curtis says this could have a negative impact on younger students.
At elementary school, it is very important that the teacher who starts the first day finishes the last day, because those children need that consistency and that bond with that teacher.
Curtis hopes state legislators in Montgomery will reconvene and allow school employees to finish out the school year.
Now, whether or not they're going to be able to do it that quickly, I do not know, but that is our hope, because it would serve everybody, especially the children, if they could do that.
Meanwhile, the Tuscaloosa County Schools are considering alternate ways to make sure kids have the same teachers in January.
If you go out on December 1, it just happens that our shortest month happens to be December in terms of teacher contact time. So if they retired on December 1, they could not work during the month of December, but on January they'll be eligible to serve as a substitute.
County school teachers would make less money, but their retirements would not be touched. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
Dr. Benson says the changes to PHIP will not only affect school employees, but also a wide array of state agencies. He says this could open up a lot of job opportunities in the public sector. Continuing in your education watch, how the new immigration law is affecting Alabama's schools. The law states any child enrolled in an Alabama public school has to provide proof of residence, a birth certificate, and proof of legal U.S. status. But this does not apply to students who are already enrolled in school. Tuscaloosa County Superintendent Frank Costanzo says a small number of students has not been attending school, but he says there have been a significant number of withdrawals. With the first look at Alabama's home team weather forecast, here's Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard.
Hey, Matt, getting kind of cool on this Monday night. Temperatures well down in the 50s right now. 54 Tuscaloosa, 51 in Meridian. Some 40 showing up in spots between the temperature observations. You know, those cooler color readings there showing up on the map there just north of Tupelo. So there are some 40s already showing up tonight. And it's going to be cold tomorrow morning. Our bus stop forecast for 7 o'clock. Yeah, 44 out there. And that is bone-chilling cold, at least this time of the year. Sunny skies starting off the day. A nice warming trend is back in the forecast. Join us for home team weather.
Thanks, Richard. The University of Alabama is gearing up for homecoming, and one of the first things students did was paint the town red. The competition started this afternoon, and it pairs student organization with local businesses to paint storefront windows with Alabama slogans and pictures. The theme of this year's UA homecoming is "The Tradition Rolls On," in reference to the April 27th tornado. The winner of the Paint the Town Red competition will be announced later this week. Well, speaking of homecoming, Alabama's home team is proud to announce a very special guest will join us for the homecoming parade. First Lady of Alabama football, Terry Saban, will be here. Saban will join our very own Lynn Brooks to co-host our live broadcast of the University of Alabama's homecoming parade. Your home team will show you the parade in its entirety and will show you highlights of homecoming week. Our live coverage begins at 11:30 this Saturday. Watch the UA Homecoming Parade on WVUA with celebrity co-host Terry Saban. The Bryant Conference Center was filled with pink tonight, all to raise awareness for National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It was a part of the Night on the Green, a fundraiser to benefit the Drive for Cure, featuring live and silent auctions. According to event organizers, over the past 8 years, over $1 million has been raised. The University of Alabama gymnastics team was on hand, as well as a performance by American Idol winner and Alabama native Taylor Hicks. The night was hosted by the DCH Cancer Center, who says the Cancer Center is a vital portion of the community.
DCH is a pillar in the community, and we work very, very hard to make sure that people know the importance of these screenings. And just coming in, just getting checked, just making sure that, you know, you take care of yourself. And so we do hold these screenings. We have screenings for men, we have screenings for women, and that's just to make sure that people take care of themselves.
Money raised from tonight's event goes to fund mammograms. Members of area high school bands had the chance to be both the audience and the performer tonight. It was part of the 3rd annual Crimson Cavalcade put on by the University of Alabama's $1 Million Band. Bands from Tuscaloosa, Bibb, Hale, and Marengo counties had a chance to take the field to showcase their talents. Members of the $1 Million Band tell us why this event is so important for these high school students.
The main point of the $1 Million Band being here is just to give an exhibition at the end, of course, but then to bring all these high school bands in the area together so they can all play and support each other, and then kind of see like where it can all take you if you keep working hard.
Tonight's program ended with a special performance by the $1 Million Band. The University of Alabama organization Unashamed is changing how people think of Christian worship. Leah Knight shows us what you can expect at Unashamed and what University of Alabama students are doing to share their experiences in this week's Capstone Correspondent Report.
Hi, I'm Capstone Correspondent Leah Knight, a junior majoring in broadcast news. When you picture crowds of students jumping around to loud music with their hands in the air, Christian worship might not be the first thing that comes to mind. However, Unashamed is changing that. Rather than being a traditional interpretation of a Christian service, Unashamed presents a modern version of Christian worship led by students and alumni of the University of Alabama. It began in the fall of 2007 with around 12 people meeting in a backyard to worship God. Since then, it has outgrown several churches and is now hosted at Daystar Family Church. Around 1,000 young people gather to worship God every Thursday night, and it has caught the attention of an unexpected TV network.
MTV is actually doing a reality show on The Basement, and also they're going to come down and follow Zig and follow Unashamed and kind of just see what it is we do and what it is we're preaching, and that is Jesus Christ. Unashamed will also be touring America with the Basement Experience next semester. If you'd like to see the University of Alabama through the eyes of a student, go to WVUATV.com. I'm Capstone Correspondent Leah Knight.
Coming up after the break, Hank Williams Jr. says goodbye to Monday Night Football. Plus, after 4 years, Amanda Knox has been freed from an Italian prison after a judge and jury overturned her murder sentence. And nationally known sports analyst and handicapper Danny Sheridan was in Tuscaloosa tonight. Gary Harris will have details in Alabama's home team sports.